Carlos King, Kimmie, and Tisha recently appeared on an interview with The Morning Hustle. It was supposed to be just a normal promotional moment for the show, but once again, even in Melody's absence, her name became the elephant in the room. What started as just another press round slowly revealed the same thing many fans have been pointing out for a long time. Even though Melody is no longer on the show, she's still very much the main character in everyone's conversations, whether they want to admit it or not. The interviewer brought up Melody's exit, asking Carlos and the ladies about it directly. Instead of answering clearly and directly, Carlos looked very uncomfortable. He did not want to go there. He tried to move past the question quickly. But the interviewer wasn't letting it slide. She circled back, asked it again, and that's when Kimmie jumped in. She gave a very polished answer on the surface, saying she respected Melody's decision to leave the show and that she wished her well. But it wasn't what she said, it was how she said it. Kimmie used Melody's own words, "God bless you on your journey." For people who have followed this show closely, that line hit differently. That wasn't just a generic well-wishing. That was a little dig, a little shade, a moment of mimicking Melody in a way that didn't feel genuine. It felt like sarcasm wrapped up in fake support. The fans picked up on it immediately. It didn't sound sincere. It sounded like someone repeating something they didn't truly mean. What made this entire moment even more uncomfortable was that Carlos King looked like he had no interest in addressing Melody's exit. He kept trying to steer the conversation away from her, like mentioning her name was some kind of problem. But if Melody left on her own terms, as he claimed, then why avoid the topic? Why not celebrate her and keep it moving? Carlos eventually gave in and said that Melody made the decision on her own to leave the show. He emphasized that she was not fired and that she was not forced off the show. He also said the door is still open for her to return whenever she wants. That part caught people off guard because he's never really said that before in other interviews. It makes you wonder if he regrets the way things turned out. It also makes you question the direction of the show now that Melody is gone. The timing of this statement is interesting. If the show was doing great, if the ratings were high, would Carlos still be saying the door is open for Melody to return? Or is he realizing now that without her, the show just isn't hitting the same? Fans have been vocal about this too. The energy is different. The storylines feel recycled. It's clear that Melody brought something to the table that no one else has been able to replace. What's even more frustrating for viewers is that even in Melody's absence, people on the show are still using her words, her image, her storylines, and her impact to create content. They've built entire narratives based on their relationship with her, the drama she left behind, and even her terminology. Kimmie, who seemed neutral in earlier seasons, is now using Melody's exact phrases in a shady way. It's like they're trying to carry her presence without giving her credit. Carlos also gave a long explanation about how reality TV works. He tried to spin the idea that divorces on reality shows are pre-planned. He said people come into the show with an exit plan, and when the pressure gets too much, they blame the show or production. That's a bold statement. It's almost like he's trying to rewrite history in front of our eyes. Did he really think the audience would believe that Melody planned to divorce Martel as part of some reality TV storyline? The truth is, fans remember what Carlos himself said in earlier interviews. He admitted that Melody did not want to begin filming when the show started because she had just found out about Martel's cheating. He said he encouraged her to show that part of her life because it would connect with viewers. And she trusted him. She opened up. She gave the show her raw truth, her heartbreak, her real pain, and they used it season after season. So to now suggest that maybe she planned it all or had some kind of hidden agenda? That feels like betrayal. Melody didn't plan for Martel to cheat on her. She didn't plan for the other cast members to gang up on her. She didn't plan to be humiliated over and over again. What happened to her on that show wasn't entertainment. It was trauma, and the production made it worse by not protecting her. And now, they want to act like she simply walked away and everyone's fine? Carlos also mentioned that people who blame the show for ruining their relationships are really just mad that their issues got exposed. He claimed that couples either hide their problems or put them on the show and then get upset when it spirals. Again, it's giving deflection. It's giving "don't blame me, blame yourselves." But isn't he the producer? Isn't he the one who decides what makes it into the final cut? Melody tried to stay strong through it all. Even when people mocked her, lied about her, and tried to destroy her character, she kept showing up. But at some point, enough is enough. When she saw that people she once called friends were talking about her behind her back, when she saw them cozying up to Martel even after knowing what he did, she realized she had to walk away. The worst part is that these same people who didn't support her are now trying to act like nothing happened. They sit in interviews laughing, joking, talking about new business ventures and fake friendship circles, while the foundation of the show, Melody, is missing. And it shows. The dynamic is off. The show doesn't feel balanced anymore. They even brought back Destiny just to keep Melody's name floating around. Destiny's only real storyline was her fallout with Mel, and instead of moving on, they're dragging it out even more. They're reaching for any connection to Mel they can find, even if it's through lies and old beef. It's exhausting to watch. Let's also not forget how Martel was treated after the divorce. The cast tried to paint him as a good guy who just made mistakes. They tried to humanize him while continuing to villainize Melody. Even when shocking information came out about Martel, including revenge content and alleged disgusting behavior, the people around him still made excuses. Meanwhile, Melody was expected to smile, be professional, and keep the peace. It became clear that she wasn't just fighting Martel, she was fighting the entire cast, the production, and the fake friendships. That's why fans respect her decision to leave. She took her power back. She said enough is enough. And now they're scrambling to fill that space, to explain her absence without telling the full truth. Carlos wants to act like he's not involved in the drama, but now that ratings are dropping, he's doing interviews again. He's back promoting the show, talking about cast members, trying to stir the pot just enough to get viewers interested. But the audience sees through it. They know what's real and what's fake. And what's fake is pretending that Melody's exit was just a normal career move with no hard feelings. Melody was the face of that show for years. She carried it. She brought the business, the drama, the personal growth, the success, and the emotional depth. She gave more than any cast member, and now they want to act like she was just one part of an ensemble? No. That's not how this works, and the fact that Carlos finally admitted that Mel could return at any time, that part says more than anything else. That shows that they know they lost a star. They know the fans want her. They know the storylines are falling flat without her. But they also know that she may never return, because of how badly she was treated. At the end of the day, this isn't just about one interview. This is about years of mistreatment, manipulation, and dishonesty. Melody gave everything to that show, and instead of protecting her, they used her pain for views. Now they want to act like they're rebranding, moving forward, and building something new. But you can't build something new on top of lies. The show will never be the same without her. And no matter how many interviews they do, no matter how many people they bring back or how many new cast members they introduce, the audience will always remember who made that show what it was. Melody made the right decision. She chose peace over chaos, healing over humiliation, and truth over storyline. And for that, she'll always have the respect of the people who saw what really happened.